Good morning, guys. Good morning. Oh my gosh, I'm so out of it. Good evening. This is Dee, and I am here to make the last of one of these nursing videos for now, anyhow. I get them in my mind and in my system, and I've got them, and they're like circling in there, and I got to get them out. So I can't wait too long. I just got to make them one after the other and get them out of my system. So this is going to be the last one for now until I get some more crazy ideas that I just can't keep inside anymore. So here we go. So the last video today is going to be on nursing self-care and helping to prevent nurse fatigue and nursing burnout, which is a huge problem, especially right now. It's always been a big problem, but right now particularly it's a big issue. There's a lot of nurses leaving the field, and a lot of it had to do with COVID, but a lot of it has to do with recognizing processes before COVID that didn't work, and then COVID was just, it knocked everyone down, and people are having a hard time getting back up on their feet to where we were, because what we were doing was too much, and it wasn't always in the most efficient and effective manner. So it was a lot of overkill, and we weren't taking care of ourselves the way we should have. I really believe that. But anyways, so on with that. I got a few pieces of advice to help prevent that and to help take care of ourselves. First is getting good sleep when we're on shift, and I don't know how everyone's rotations are. Mine were 2 days, 2 nights, 5 off, but the first one never counts because you're sleeping after the last night shift, and the last one doesn't count because you got to be in bed super early because you're starting your 4 days on, so and nights. So it's almost like you'd have 2 days off in between all these days of chaos. So getting good sleeps and having a good sleep routine, I would say, is super duper important. Making sure you're not showing up to these long 12-hour shifts or 8-hour shifts, whatever you do, exhausted and already behind the gun because you're already tired. That's going to be really important. Second thing is going to be in managing, and not getting yourself overworked. So like when you have your days off, they're going to be short. They're always going to be short though. They're always short when you're there. They're always short when you're gone. Don't fill all your days off with filling shifts and covering shifts when staff is short, because it's easy to do when you're a new nurse. They call you, you feel like you have to do it or everyone's going to hate you. You don't have to do it. It's usually not charge that calls you anyway. It's usually staffing that calls you, and so it's a little easier. You don't face to face know the people necessarily, but even if it is your charge or someone calling on the floor, unless it's someone directly asking you a favor that comes to you, but they do that ahead of time. Everyone gets their little books out and meets up on shift and like arranges switches and switching shifts and this and that so they can get appointments done and stuff, and that's fine. That works because it works in everyone's favor. But I'm talking about when you're off and they call you and say, well, we're short tomorrow morning. I know it's 8 o'clock, but can you do it 12? That kind of stuff. You have to be able to say no if you don't feel like it. You need those days off to recover. They're so important for your own self-care. If you're not your best self, then when you are working, you're not your best nurse either. So you need to be your best all the time and not be exhausted, not be overworked, and have your breaks and take your breaks because you need them. Otherwise, after that, there's only one more really, and it's to invest in yourself on your days off. When you do have days off, don't just sleep them away or just use them to get all the housework done you possibly can because you're about to go back on to 4 days. Like, plan some things for yourself. Go for a massage, or make sure you're sticking to your, that's the other thing. Make sure when you're on your days off that you try and stick to a routine as best you can, so that you still continue to get to good sleeps and that you're getting up early still, and it's nice to have a weekend or a day in between where you sleep in or whatever. That's fine. But as a rule, try to stick to your routine, because going on and off routine is chaos for your body, and it's really hard to adapt when you're off. It's hard to adapt when you're on, and it's just never a good scene. So try to have a routine, something that's like doable, that you're able to stick to some degree. And when you're on your days off, do that, and make sure you take some time out for yourself. Don't just cook and clean and take care of everybody else because now you're home. Make sure you take some time for you, and you have some time to yourself and alone, and to do some jogging or exercise or meet with some girlfriends or guy friends or whatever you do. Do some things for yourself. That's all. Make sure you fit in some of your life into your work life, because it's equally important. And if your life isn't complete, your work life will just feel like it's like you're underachieving all the time, because you'll always feel like you're trying to catch up, and that's the worst feeling. So that's all for today, guys. That was a quick one, I know, but it's a super important one, because nurse burnout again is a huge issue. And what's even worse is nurses who continue to work when they feel burnt out. It's dangerous, and it's a terrible feeling, and it's not a good life. And we go to school for a long time, and we work really hard to get these positions and to be in these roles. We need to be able to enjoy ourselves too, and it's hard to do when you're always exhausted. So love your job and love yourself, but you can't love your job if you don't love yourself first. So make sure you're taking care of you, and that is all I have to say. And I'm going to make more videos, of course, but you won't hear about me about nursing stuff for a little while, so you get to have a break. But I hope everyone has a great evening and a great start to the week, and I hope the weather's a little bit better tomorrow. It's pretty cold and windy and gross this weekend, but yeah, I hope everyone has a good week, and that is all. I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.